Become a patron at www.patreon.com/Golden Era Bookworm for hard to find books, scans of rare photos and articles on the golden era of bodybuilding. Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Today I'd like to look at the Vince Gironda Complete Thigh Curl and the 3 different movements he performed on the leg curl machine to target the hamstrings. There are several demonstrations on how to perform the Vince Gironda leg curl online, but unfortunately the demonstrations are at best confusing because they don't address the 3 different ways that Vince Gironda performed the leg curl. Today I'm going to talk about why Vince Gironda actually performed the leg curl in these 3 different ways and how, in his opinion, these would help target the different areas of the hamstring. We can see here Don Howarth performing one of the variations of the Vince Gironda leg curl as is often seen online, but not all the different ways are actually explained properly online, so that's what I want to talk about today. Now, according to Vince Gironda, there were 3 different ways of performing the leg curl movement to target the hamstrings in different manners, and I'm going to be explaining each of these over the next few slides. To work the low bicep, one would have to lie on the thigh curl machine, hook your heels on the curling part of the machine, and then having your toes wide and heels together, you would curl and touch the weight with the glutes. And so you don't actually want to raise on the hips, and this is the very typical method that most people perform the leg curl in the gym. You could almost call it the regular leg curl, and it's basically shown here in this diagram here from Vince's book, which is called The Wild Physique. It's the regular leg curl, and I've also shown a little demonstration which I'll now play for you. You can see I'm not moving the hips, I'm just curling the weight, and of course always trying to touch the glutes. This is not an ideal leg curl machine, it's just an attachment on a bench, but you can see that I'm doing the work as correctly as I possibly can. And there we have it. Now, the most common variation you'll see online is for the Vince Gironda thigh curl or leg curl is this particular one where you actually target the high bicep. Now it's very different to the regular leg curl, which tends to target the lower bicep of the hamstring. And if you can see the diagram here from the Wild Physique, where Vince Gironda has drawn himself performing it, you basically lie on a thigh curl machine, you hook your heels in, toes wide, heels together, and you perform a push-up as you curl the weight up, as shown in the diagram. And of course you try and touch your glutes. In my personal experience, I can say that the regular leg curl, I definitely feel it on the lower part of the hamstring, and when I actually perform the high bicep variation, I definitely feel a really strong cramp in my hamstrings, much higher towards the glutes. I'll just play the video for you now. So I'm performing that push-up and I'm coming down slightly. In the book itself, it actually does say to come all the way down, but I actually find that if I stay up in that push-up position, I really get a good cramp, and you can see me suffering there. I'm squirming as I do it, and I'm almost dropping now my lower back way too much towards the end because the pain is just too excruciating. But yeah, the idea is to prop yourself up in a push-up position as you curl the weight up. You can come a little bit down or all the way down. My own variation is to actually just stay mostly up. Now, the third variation that Vince Gironda suggests to work more of the middle biceps, just the whole meatier area basically, is again, you lie on the thigh curl machine, hook your heels in, toes wide, heels together. You push up and hold this position as shown in the diagram. And as you actually curl the weight up, this time you drop towards the table. So it's the reverse of the previous variation of the movement. And you try again to touch your the weight to your glutes. So let's have a look at me performing the particular variation. Oh, some music there. Let's drop that. You can see me coming up, and as I curl the weight, I actually come down onto the table. That's actually targeting the middle bicep. That's actually my favorite variation, because the middle bicep has more of a good feel. This particular variation of the middle bicep of the hamstring has a better feel for me, so that's my favorite variation. So they're the three different ways or movements that Vince Gironda recommended in performing what he calls the complete thigh curl, performing the different variations for the low, the high, and the middle bicep. Now, if you'd like to find out more about the way Vince Gironda performs certain exercises, I have two publications on my website from Vince Gironda, and that is the World Physique as well as Definition on my website www.goldenerabookworm.com. And I can tell you that the information from today comes from the World Physique. However, Definition itself contains methods of getting defined and ripped for competition with a diet and a very great bodybuilding program. So check it out on my website. So I do hope you've enjoyed today's video on Vince's 3 movements that make up the complete thigh curl for targeting the different parts of the hamstring. And of course I will continue to demonstrate more of Vince Gironda's different ways of performing these exercises for developing different parts of the body's musculature. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't to the Golden Era Bookworm, leave me your comments, and thank you for watching. If you'd like to support my work, please donate via PayPal or become a patron. And as I mentioned earlier, you can always purchase books and courses on my website www.goldenerabookworm.com. That's it for me. This is the Golden Era Bookworm. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye for now.
Hi everybody, I just want to recommend this phenomenal book, Vince's Secret Locker, volume number 2 by Carl Coyne. I've been looking at this for about 4 weeks and I can't put it down. If you get a chance, check it out. He also has a part 1 that I highly recommend also. Vince was the trainer of the stars and had an amazing, interesting gym that today there's still not equipment like it around. It was all made out of wood. He'll be on our radio show coming up probably in the next couple weeks or so. Have a great day, and again, highly recommend this book.